Hey everybody, let me make sure that YouTube has us set up over here. Looks like everything is working tonight, love it. We are on a good luck streak lately. All right, let's see, a few people coming in, awesome. Say hi whenever you get here so I know that you are here. Tim, hey, we were just talking about whether or not this was going to happen tonight, and yeah, luckily a pretty uneventful day, so everything worked out. Happy that we can all be here. Brett, Tim, Chris, hi guys. All right, let's see. I feel like I should... Okay, there we go. Just getting all of my settings together. Just a few people here. I had a feeling people will be watching the inauguration today maybe, so we might not have as many people as usual, and that's okay. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on. We might end this a little early tonight in case anyone does want to watch some more inauguration event. I know that the Celebrating America event is tonight. That should be fun, lots of good music. Mike, I know, I'm so sorry. Someone pointed out that I say all the time last week, and now I'm thinking about it constantly. It just happens. I wish I could stop doing it. I will work on it, I promise. I'll go get a public speaking coach or something, I don't know. Hey everybody, so glad to see you here. Some familiar names, some new names. Hi everybody, if you're new here, welcome to the Cricketers News Q&A. If you have any questions about streaming, how to cut the cord, how to watch your favorite shows and movies, ask away. If I don't have the answers, somebody in the chat usually does, so we can help you out. Oh, John, that's awesome. John says I got my new ATSC 3.0 working here in Nashville. John, what are you using? Did you get the HD home run receiver? Bill, hey, good to see you. Oh, Bill, since I saw your name, that reminded me, I have a post ready to go about T-Vision adding TV Everywhere compatibility, or support, I guess. So that will be going up tomorrow. I was trying to add it today, and we were having some issues on the site, so I wasn't able to get in and put that post up, but tomorrow, for sure. Brett wants to know if Pluto TV will be adding more local CBS channels. Pluto TV is crushing it. They are adding so much content all the time. I am interested to see what they do. My only hesitation in answering this question is that with Paramount Plus launching soon, for those of you who don't know, CBS All Access is rebranding to become Paramount Plus, and that's happening in March. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen with CBS All Access turning into Paramount, plus with Pluto getting free content. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to work all of that out, but we will keep an eye on it for sure. Yeah, Chris just mentioned some new channels over on Pluto TV. We posted about this earlier this week. They added BBC Home and BBC Food channels. So on BBC Food, you'll see like celebrity chefs cooking and showing you their recipes and things and giving you instructions. BBC Home is like home renovations, and they said garden renovations too, so that's kind of interesting. So definitely check those out. Some new channels on Pluto TV, one of our favorite free streaming services. Bill just posted something on the cord cutting tech support group about TechStream. I will definitely check that out after we're done here. Do I think that Pluto will ever have an ad-free version? I do not, because ads are how they make their money. If they did an ad-free version, I think that they would have to charge for it, which is not the purpose of Pluto. So owned by Viacom CBS, and they like having their 3 tiers. So they have their free tier with Pluto, they have their mid-tier with CBS All Access, soon to be Paramount Plus, and then they have their premium Showtime. Why do they keep taking All in the Family in one day at a time off and putting it back up on Pluto? Probably licensing issues. I hate that that's my answer for everything all the time when it comes to streaming services, but I would guess that they have to keep renewing those licensing deals. So that would be my guess. But I think it's very cool that they're putting so much classic TV over on Pluto. I think it's a really great way for people to catch those shows that they remember, and it kind of gives them a second life. So if you're looking for classic TV, Pluto TV has some, but also all of these other free streaming services. Stir will have some, Tubi, Zumo. Check them all out. Hey Annette, good to see you here. Richard, hey, yeah, you're just a few minutes late. We started right at 8 o'clock on the dot this time. Let's see. Did you hear that CBS said March 4th is the date? Sounds right. I knew it was in March. We do have a post up about it, but so many things have been happening this week that it's hard for me to keep track of all the different dates. I like this comment. Well, what do you know? It's just from Cord Cutters News. I am doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me in our little Wednesday night Q&A. Pluto has all of the Comedy Central animated shows on one channel now. Yeah, love that. I love that Viacom CBS is putting content from so many of their different brands all on Pluto for people to watch for free. Love that. My daily side, yeah, thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I am here on Wednesday nights to answer some questions and chat with you guys. It usually just turns into more of a chit-chat hour, but Philip is also here during the week making some really good videos, doing some deep dives on services and features and tech news. Joseph wants to know what's new this week. That's a great question. So we are finding out about Pluto adding some new channels. We also found out that Stir, another free streaming service, added 6 more cities to its lineup, which means that you can get local content from 6 more cities. I saw Pittsburgh was on there. I think that's the closest one to me, so that was cool. Let's see what else. T-Vision adding TV everywhere support was a pretty cool one. I also made a note over here. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that there was some talk about Charter implementing data caps for Spectrum Internet customers, and they had appealed to the FCC to remove the restrictions that were stopping them from having data caps. And yesterday they withdrew that. They are no longer asking for that restriction to be taken away. The theory is that they were afraid that they would not get support from the new administration. So after the former FCC chairman left, they withdrew that request. So good news for Spectrum Internet customers, no data caps for now. Jermaine says that asking for data caps is evil, and I would tend to agree. I understand why the companies want them, but from the consumer end, yeah, agreed. They're evil, and no one should have them. Let's see here. Colin says, Jess, will Paramount Plus be the same or more expensive than CBS All Access? We have not gotten the official word about that yet, but Viacom CBS is doing a call. Sorry about that. I think it's like an investor call, so probably giving their quarterly earnings report and all of that stuff in February, at the end of February, the 24th, I think. And during that, we should be getting a lot more information. It sounds right now like it's going to be the same price, but I would not be at all surprised to hear that they are raising the price. There's going to be a ton more content, so they have that working for them. They're bringing in content from across all of their brands, so more like Nickelodeon, MTV, Paramount, movies, more from CBS, everything. So I would not be surprised to see a price hike. G Money says, woohoo, no data caps. Yeah, same. I'm a Spectrum customer, so I was happy to hear it. Donald says, how are you? And thank you so much for asking. I am doing really, really well. I am having a great week, lots of really good news to share with you guys, so this has been a fun week. Also, it's nice coming down from CES. I got no sleep last week. You guys saw me in the Q&A. It was rough, so definitely doing a lot better this week. Brett says that CBS should be sending out an email about the change. Yeah, I get emails from them too, and they usually let us know what's going on, but I have not heard anything just yet. CJ says, greetings from Rising Fawn, Georgia. That sounds like the most beautiful town ever. I hope the weather is nice for you out there. Tammy would like suggestions from the group. Let's see. Tammy got a new 4K TV. We have paid TV but like to use an antenna. The picture is so poor. Does anyone have suggestions for Tammy for getting better picture quality with her antenna? Hey Jess, how would you feel if streaming and cable work together? I would say they do, kind of. I feel like TV Everywhere is a really good example of that, where you can use your login credentials from your streaming service or your cable service, and you can log into the streaming service of each channel that's supported. So I feel like that's kind of a way that cable and streaming sort of intermingle. So I think that cable companies are seeing the value in streaming. I think they're seeing the trend for consumers going to streaming, and I would say that they will... Hang on, let me scroll up just a second here so I don't miss this. I would say that cable channels, cable networks are going to continue to sort of make streaming options, at least. I don't think that cable is going to go away completely or anything anytime soon, but I do think that they're going to shift towards streaming. Okay, let's see here. Kyle wants to know about Discovery Plus. We had this talk last week too, about whether or not Discovery Plus is going to add live channels or just stay on demand. So right now Discovery Plus is only on demand. They are working on adding more content right now, and I think that's the focus. I'm sure if you've watched any Discovery content lately, you've seen the huge ad for Discovery Plus up in the corner that just kind of is very distracting. And yeah, I would say that right now they're really just focused on bringing more of their content over to the streaming service from the network. So I believe that they would like to add live channels at some point, but right now they do not have any live feeds. We have not gotten any information on when they might add them. I would say it's probably on their roadmap, but not immediately. So Tammy, are you seeing all these comments? Okay, I see you responding. People have some good info for you here. You're using a Mohu Leaf, same, love it. A few years old, yeah, it shouldn't be an issue with your antenna being too old or anything. Some people are saying that you might have better luck with an outdoor antenna if that's an option for you. An amplified HD digital TV antenna. Yeah, if you're using a Mohu Leaf, it should be fine. It shouldn't be an issue with your antenna. If anyone else has any suggestions for Tammy, please leave them in the comments for her. Colin wants to know if the group in charge of rolling out ATSC 3.0 has given out a list of cities getting ATSC 3.0 next. And yes, they do have a list. I don't know if they know for sure exactly which one's coming next, but they do have that full list, and we shared it to you after CES last year. So it would have been January 2020. Gosh, time is flying and dragging at the same time. Yeah, we put up a full list after CES of the first cities in the US. I think it was over 60 that were going to be the first to get ATSC 3.0. There is also a website. I think if you just search for ATSC 3.0 cities, it should come right up. I can also try to find that for you later, and I will link it in our next Quirketers News post about ATSC. We should have one coming out soon. Which also reminds me that some of you asked last week about whether or not any of the 2021 TV models that were announced at CES this year, if any of them would be ATSC 3.0 compatible, and now I have an answer for you. Yes. LG came out with some models, and I believe Samsung was the other one. There were two companies, and I have them saved to do a post about hopefully tomorrow if I get the chance. So yes, there are some TV models that are being built with that capability. It's not the word I'm looking for, but that's the only one I can think of. Anyway, yes, some of the new TV models you'll be able to use ATSC 3.0 with, and I will get a post up about that with some of those different brands that are working on it. It was a really long answer for a very short question. Surprise, surprise, I start talking and can't stop. Let's see. Richard wants to know if there's any word from Tableau about a DVR that is ATSC 3.0 ready. I don't believe that we have heard any more device news from Tableau recently, but I would expect to see some more from them and other companies soon. Jermaine says, I'm going to cry if I can't watch my Lotto Dream House anymore. I'll get Discovery Plus just for that show. Yeah, that's the thing. With Discovery channels, people were saying that they were unhappy that Discovery was coming out with a streaming service. They didn't want to subscribe to another service just for Discovery shows. But then people like you, Jermaine, and I've seen so many others on social media lately that are saying there's one show specifically that they just can't give up. They have to have it. And so they are willing to subscribe just for that one show. So you are absolutely not alone. We've been seeing so much about that on social media lately. I love that so many of you guys are friends. I'm just watching the chat over here and everyone's just catching up like your old friends. And I love that so much. I love our little cord cutting family over here. How would I feel if movie theaters and streaming movie theaters work together? So that's sort of something that HBO Max is doing right now, I would say, and maybe I'm misunderstanding your question, but HBO Max is releasing their movies, Warner Media is releasing their movies on HBO Max at the same time that they are releasing them in theaters. So they really are kind of going hand in hand like that. So it's sort of happening already. Blackworm says, I love Discovery Plus. They don't deserve all of the hate. I agree. And it's completely unsurprising that they started a streaming service. They own so many brands that they had this content library to work with, and it made sense for them to get into the streaming game. That's my personal opinion about it. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll through some of these whenever I was going off on my ATSC 3.0 tangent. I know I missed a few questions. Tammy, lots of good advice for you here in the comments. Hopefully something will work for you. Let's see here. Yeah, you guys are usually so much better at answering questions than I am, so just you're all over it in the chat over here. Oh, someone had a question. Tammy wants to know, what if our TV is not 3.0 compatible? They are working on making receivers so that you can just hook that up to your TV and use that to watch content in the next gen TV, the new standard. Sorry, I started talking and never finished my sentence there. Steve wants to know if anyone with a Philo subscription has bought Discovery Plus. Yeah, Steve, I would say if you have Philo already, you probably don't need Discovery Plus, but they are working on moving a lot of their content over to their own platform, so I'm not entirely sure what that's going to look like. The CEO of Philo, Andrew McCollum, did a panel discussion at CES, and he sounded completely not worried at all about this. He said that Philo absolutely still has a place. You'll still get your channels, you'll still get your content from Philo at an affordable price, so he was not concerned about the competition. Tim says, my work that closed was a second-run movie theater that couldn't pay the landlord due to being closed so much during the pandemic. Yeah, Tim, I remember you telling us that before. And what a bummer, because those smaller movie theaters are amazing. I remember in college we had a dollar theater near us, and sometimes it was only 75 cents to get a ticket, and that was the best. Love that place. So yeah, it's absolutely heartbreaking to see them close. I do think, though, that a lot of movie studios are going to streaming because they really do want to make their content more accessible for a larger audience. So during the pandemic, with so many different like social distancing and everything in place, they want people to be able to watch this stuff. So going to streaming really did make sense. I get why they did it, but it is hard to watch places close. Mr. Max says, hello, Jess, first-time listener. Spectrum versus Roku. I would say those are two completely different things. So hard to compare when it's not, as they say, apples to apples. Hang on one second. My phone is over here blinking like crazy. Let me get that out of the way. So are you using like a Spectrum streaming box, or what are you working with over there? Let's see. Oh, Mr. Mack, you said that you're talking about comparing the apps. So with Roku, you can use the Roku channel, which is completely free. Amazing. Spectrum app is being... Oh, okay, now I see what you're saying. I'm so sorry. I thought you were asking me to compare between Spectrum and Roku as companies, and I got very confused. Yeah, the Spectrum app is being restricted on Roku. And that is because they could not come to an agreement to keep the app on Roku. So it started out with Roku saying that they were just going to not allow new signups. They said that current customers would be able to continue using the app as normal, but now more and more Spectrum customers are finding that the app is disappearing from their Roku lineup. So unfortunately, I don't exactly have an update for you, but I will say it sounds like both sides are pretty sure that they will come to an agreement sooner or later. Unfortunately for customers, we're not sure if it will be sooner or later, but these things usually work out pretty quickly, and I would not be surprised to see that app come back very, very soon. But no official word from either side, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Has Tableau said anything about coming out with an ATSC 3.0 compatible Tableau DVR? I have not heard yet, but it's very possible that I missed something. But Tableau usually sends us info about new devices and things pretty quickly, so I think I would have heard, but I will definitely check into it. Let me make a note over here, Tableau ATSC, with a big question mark, so I don't forget to look it up. Yeah, G-Money says as long as you don't delete the Spectrum app from Roku, you're good. And agreed. That's what Roku told us whenever they made that announcement. However, a bunch of people who have the Spectrum app have said that it's just kind of mysteriously disappearing from their lineup. So I'm not 100% sure that that's true anymore, but we will try to find out what's going on soon. Yeah, Chris, hypothetically, you should be able to still use your Spectrum app as long as you don't delete it yourself. But like I said, some people are saying it's just kind of missing, so not really sure what's going on there. DMS says no Spectrum app on Chromecast either. Maybe it's a Spectrum problem. That's what it sounds like to me. Oh, okay. This is really helpful, Bill. I checked with Tableau about ATSC 3.0 a week ago. Nothing yet. Maybe next CES. Yeah, and I've said this a few times. I really feel like this year, I feel like 2021 is the year of ATSC 3.0. I feel like more cities are going to get on board, more stations are going to get on board, and more manufacturers are going to get on board. So we're seeing these TVs coming out with ATSC 3.0 enabled, and I think that we're going to see a lot more of things like the HD home run. So we will definitely be paying attention. I know that Philip is really on the ball with paying attention to that stuff. So we will definitely be on the lookout. Tammy wants to know if this is my job. Yes, it is. So I know that some of you are new here. I am Jess. Nice to meet you. I am a reporter, technically editor is my title now, at Cord Cutters News. So yes, this is my full-time job. I write articles over on cordcuttersnews.com, and I come over here on Wednesdays to get to know you guys and answer your questions. So here we are. It is a very small team, but a very dedicated team. You'll also see Tamara's name pop up on the site. She is a full-time reporter also. Philip also does some writing, and he does our videos over here on our YouTube channel. John says, OMG, not another Plus service. Tell me about it. And some of you have been making jokes on Twitter. You're coming after me. I'm feeling personally attacked. You're saying that AT&T took away AT&T TV Now so that they could come out with AT&T Plus. It's not true, and it's a mean joke, you guys. You know how I feel about all of these plus-sign streaming services. It's hard to keep track of them all. Mr. Mac, yeah, thank you so much for your question, and if you have any more, please let us know. Like I said, people over here in the comments usually have good answers if I do not, so ask away. Can I give you the Antenna Guys link? If you just search for the Antenna Guy over on YouTube, it should pop right up. CJ, I know, yeah, I hate to even joke about it. I feel like I'm jinxing us. AT&T TV Now Plus, that's so long. Please no. Annette says, I'm a dummy. No, you're not. When it comes to TVs, but what is ATSC 3.0? It is next gen TV. It just means basically if you're watching TV with an antenna, the picture will be better, the sound will be better, it's just overall better quality. So stations are upgrading to this new standard, is what they call it. Kroger Plus. Yeah, a bunch of you have said this, Cord Cutters News Plus. Maybe I'll make a second YouTube channel. We'll see what happens. CP Life Vlog wants to know how I'm doing, and I am doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Having a great night. Jermaine says, oh, I love this. Okay, so this is going to be a good conversation starter for all of us to get to know each other. Jermaine says, hello, newbies. I was paying $175 for Dish Network with no HBO before I started coming here. Just changed my life. Oh, thank you so much, Jermaine. That is so sweet. But I would love to know from all of you guys, how much were you paying for cable? How much are you saving now? We ask this question from time to time, but it's been a while. This was one of Luke's favorite questions to ask. And again, for those of you who are new, Luke was the founder of Cord Cutters News. He left almost a year ago now, and I kind of stepped in to take his place a little bit. But that was one of his favorite questions to ask you guys during Q&As was, how much were you paying for cable? How much are you saving? It is insane how much money you can save just by cutting the cord. Colin wants to know if ATSC 3.0 will have a longer range than ATSC 1.0. To be honest, I don't know. That is a question that Philip has probably answered. I think that we have a YouTube video about it. I know that we have a whole guide over on cordcuttersnews.com. So, good question. I don't really know how it works, to be honest. I only know the basics and about new devices and things. Excuse me. Wanda is saving about $100. Awesome. Love to hear it. Mike says, I cut the cord a year ago. I'm saving $120 a month. Awesome. Colin wants to know what my official title is at Cord Cutters News. Officially, I am the editor. Blackworm was paying around $150, now paying $35. Awesome, for Philo, HBO Max, and Discovery Plus. Mr. Mac was paying $229, now $120 for internet. Awesome. Ghoul was $70 with all my Plus apps. Love that for you. Mule Driver Mark says, Luke just told us how to save money at McDonald's. Need to buy lots of burgers. Yeah, if anyone wants to check out Luke's YouTube channel, The Breakdown, he makes some really funny videos, but also very useful. He will help you save money. Jeff was paying $250 on Comcast Triple Play and $185 for EPBFI. That's a lot of letters. Oh, okay, there was a question for people who are not interested in sports. What is the best streaming service? Philo is a really good one. Lots of entertainment channels and only $20 a month. So Philo, Philo. And yeah, that is one that I would definitely recommend. And because it's only $20, it's a lot easier to justify some of these additional ones like Discovery Plus, HBO Max. And you can just sort of shuffle between them depending on what you want to watch, or if you're feeling like they don't have any good new content, you can switch to something else. But for live TV, Philo is a really good option. Lowcast, yeah, if you're in an area where Lowcast is, they're in, I think, just over 25 cities across the US. You can get live local channels. Technically for free, but they do ask for a $5 a month donation. Bill, another great suggestion. T-Mobile has T-Vision, and they have a $10 plan. Right now it's only for T-Mobile and Sprint customers, but if you have one of those. Thank you, Jeff, for explaining to me what that acronym was. I appreciate that. Brian dropped live TV and does not miss it. Yep. I think a lot of us feel the same way. If I didn't have the job I have, I don't think I would have a live TV streaming service. Oh, yeah, okay. A couple of people have asked me now about WandaVision. So those of you who have been here for a while know that I love Marvel movies. I'm a huge Marvel fan. So yes, I have watched WandaVision, and I do have some thoughts. So I watched the first 2 episodes. They are now available over on Disney+. I think it is a very cool concept. I think that the first 2 episodes were a little bit cheesy, but I think they were meant to be. I like the concept and I can see where they're going with it. So I think that another couple of episodes in, it's going to get really good. So that's where I'm at with WandaVision. I'm definitely going to stick with it. So if any of you have watched it, let me know what you think. Any news on Sinclair FSN North? No, not really. I think that they're being very stubborn, asking for a lot of money, so no one wants to carry their channels right now. I think that some deals will be worked out eventually, but they're also talking about doing a direct-to-consumer streaming option for their regional sports networks, so I think we just kind of have to wait it out and see what happens. Tim is loving WandaVision so far. I've heard kind of mixed reviews about it. Some people love it, some hate it. I like it. I don't love it yet, but I feel like in a couple more episodes I'm going to get there. Mike, yeah, in February, the original Muppet Show is going to be on Disney+. Tamara just wrote a post about that for us today. Pretty cool. Love some of that classic content. Mark says that he switched from YouTube TV to Sling and saved about $30 per month. Yeah, Sling's a really good option. It's kind of an a la carte situation where you pick a base package and then you add any add-ons that you're looking for. So if you don't want sports, you do not have to add that sports add-on. Jason, yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't love WandaVision yet, but I won't turn it off. Same. I was really excited about it, so maybe my expectations were a little too high, but I do feel like it's going to be good. Just based on like the trailers and things that we've seen, I think it'll be good. Brett wants to know if there's something going on with the DC Universe streaming service. It sounds like they want to move everything to streaming on a different platform. They're on HBO Max. It's really hard to keep all of these things straight sometimes. But yeah, it sounds like they are moving content over there and that the DC Universe website is going to be for web-based comics. I'm not entirely sure what the plan is, so I will definitely look into it a little bit more, but right now everything's kind of a little messy in my opinion. T Jr. says Jess is the editor while Luke is on his USA Sierra vacation. He is not on vacation, I promise you. He is at home in Michigan with his wife and daughter. They are doing great. Richard says, I used to pay for Cox Cable out here in Las Vegas, almost $200. Now I'm paying $65 for Hulu. I don't regret making the change from cable to streaming. Love that. Love that comment, Richard. Thank you for sharing those numbers. Yeah, saving so much money. Love to hear it. Yeah, seeing some comments about DC content over on HBO Max. Yeah, they have like the new Wonder Woman movie. So definitely they are trying to sort of move things in that direction. So I would say if you are a DC fan, definitely get your HBO Max subscription. Colin says, are current Viacom shows like The Daily Show coming back to Hulu on demand the day after, like they used to before they pulled them a few years ago? That is a great question. I don't have an answer for you, but let me write that down. Viacom shows on Hulu. I don't know. I'm wondering if they're going to try to put all of that over on Paramount Plus. Man, all of these plus sign services. Sorry about that. I'm wondering if they're not going to put all of the episodes over on Paramount Plus and kind of pull them from on-demand other places. They could be doing that. I'm not 100% sure yet. Again, we should find out more in February whenever Viacom CBS does their call, which we'll be covering, obviously. We always cover those things in real time. DMS says, if you're a history nerd like me, yep, Curiosity Stream is a great bargain. Yeah, definitely. Curiosity Stream has some really good documentaries. They also have some really great original content, which I never realized until I really checked them out in December. They have some great original content. There is a show narrated by, and I cannot think of his real name, but Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. He narrates a show that's really interesting. Martin says, I'm liking that Peacock has all the Chicago Med, Fire, and Police seasons where they used to only have the current season. So I'm excited I can watch all the seasons on Peacock instead of going to IMDb. Awesome. Yeah, I love that. It seems like all of these streaming services are trying to pull all of their content into one central location. So for people like you who are fans of one particular show or franchise, it is really nice to be able to just log on to that one service. Mule Driver Mark says, hey Jess, if Philip could do some antenna recommendations, that would be great. Definitely. He is pretty swamped. He has a long list of videos that he's working on right now. But yeah, we will definitely look into getting him some antennas. I think once he can get his hands on some and try them out in person, he could definitely make a great video. When does the Disney Plus price increase start? Man, I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry. Does anyone remember when the Disney Plus price hike goes into effect? Let's see. Yeah, someone says that Philip and I should do more collaboration videos. Philip and I are actually filming one this week, so that should be up next week sometime. Luke is no longer at Cord Cutters News, so he will probably not come into any videos, but you might see his name pop up in a post here pretty soon. People are saying March for the Disney Plus price hike, and I don't remember. Let me see. It will be a miracle if I don't knock over my microphone while I'm looking. Yeah, it's going to go up by $1 to $8 a month in March 2021. Colin has a question for any of you who are using an HD home run. What does everyone use to watch and record on your HD home run? Do you use an app? Do you use Plex? Do you use a channel's DVR? Any word on Disney's new Star streaming service in Europe? To be honest, we don't cover a whole lot of international news. I would recommend checking out the website What's on Disney. If you are looking specifically for Disney info, they will have it for you. And I know that they cover all of the international launches and things and pricing over there. I would definitely check them out. CJ is watching with his VPN on. Yeah, I swear to you that I'm not anti-VPN. I know that over in the Cord Cutting Tech Support Facebook group, I'm always taking down posts that mention VPNs. That's only because over there, the conversation is usually about using one of those to change your geographic location and using that to watch content that is not available in your country, which I'm not saying if that's okay or not. I'm just saying that it violates the terms of service for a lot of streaming services. So we don't let people post about piracy. We don't let people post about how to break terms of service by doing things like that. But I'm not anti-VPN. I use one for work. Our work computers have a VPN on them, so I use mine all the time. I get it. It's like a privacy thing. I completely understand, but that is why we delete those comments over on the Facebook group. Jermaine says YouTube raised their prices for Paramount channels, but now Paramount is adding their content to CBS All Access. I may have to drop one of those services. Yeah, so this is weird. And I actually have a note over here because you guys always ask about the other Viacom CBS channels that were supposed to be coming to YouTube TV, and they just never did. So what the heck is going on? Great question. I still can't find any updates. So very strange, but you're right. They are trying to move all of their content over to CBS All Access, soon to be Paramount Plus. So probably has something to do with that, but that was also the cause of their price hike. So what's going on? Okay, yeah, a couple of piracy related questions. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete those. Like I just said, we don't promote illegal piracy apps, so we'll just go ahead and delete those. Steve says, are we still live? Yes, I know I'm on a little bit of a delay. It's just the way that the live stream situation works. T Junior says, is CBS going to move everything over to Paramount without any hassles or price hikes, hopefully? So the app should update with no problem. So if you have the CBS All Access app, the design's going to change, the content's going to be added. You should not have to do anything. But that said, we're not completely sure about what's going to happen with the price. Everything that they've said so far makes it sound like the price is going to stay the same, but we have not gotten any official word on that I know of. So my guess is that the price is going to go up, unfortunately. But you should get notified about that ahead of time. Yeah, lots of love for Discovery Plus. Good. Again, that's something that I'm hearing mixed reviews about. Some people love it. Some people say that it is buffering too much. Some people are mad that all of the content isn't there yet. For those people, I would say just hang tight. They are trying to get stuff moved over, but I think that they have like licensing deals and things with all these other streaming services, so it's just kind of, they're getting it worked out. I wonder when they will start charging for regular YouTube. So I don't think that they will. I know that they do have paid subscriptions like YouTube Premium, but I think that YouTube, for the most part, will stay free. You can also like rent movies, you can buy movies on YouTube, so they do have paid options, but I don't think that there is any plan to start charging for just regular YouTube. Frayden says, please don't give them any ideas. Yeah, we don't want YouTube to hear us talking about them charging. Can't let it happen. Sounds like Discovery Plus is a work in progress. Yeah, Chris, for sure. It sounds like they are still kind of working out some kinks and getting all of their content in order. So hopefully everything gets worked out soon. Okay, we're just gonna do a couple more questions and then wrap this up for tonight. I know it's a little early, sorry about that. Michael says YouTube TV is probably going to add the rest of those Viacom channels and then raise the price again. I don't think so. We generally, with streaming services, don't see price hikes so close together. So I understand why you're saying that, but hopefully not. Yeah, let's stick to just the legal services, please. Jeff just did his weekly Twitter reminder so I don't have to read my notes. Thank you. Yeah, you guys who have been here for a while know that I'm constantly like scribbling down notes. I look at it later and it's just pure chicken scratch. Nothing makes any sense. Steve, yeah, again, we can't recommend using a VPN to change your location for a streaming service. CJ is heading out and getting back to work, and I am actually going to do the same. So I think we're just going to go ahead and wrap it up here. So thank you guys so much for coming back and hanging out with me again on this Wednesday night. It is always so much fun coming over and chatting with you guys and answering some questions. So thank you so much, and I will be right back here again next Wednesday night. So I will see you all then. Hope you all have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.